Today, we are in Big Sur, California. This is one of my most favorite places in the whole entire world because this beauty, this view is not something that you get to see every day. And I'm not only here by myself, I'm actually here with my friends, and I'm driving my RS and we're doing a little road trip. And while we're here taking in all the views, taking in the vibes, I thought what better opportunity than to put you guys with me in the passenger seat of the RS to go driving together. Let's go. Every time I drive this car, I am just heavily reminded that it's the best. I've owned a handful of exotics. Ferraris, Lambos, all the JDM cars that we all know and love. And what I've realized after owning all of those things, nothing quite compares to the GT3RS. I bought my first GT3RS about 3 or 4 years ago, and I owned it for about a year and a half, and then I sold it. And then about a year and a half later, I got this one. I like it so much that I've also bought a 991.2 GT3 just to have something a little bit different with a manual gearbox. When it comes to performance, I think the RS comes second to none. When it comes to a straight line or a quarter-mile time, sure. But when it comes to actual driving, when it comes to putting down a lap time, this is the top dog. I feel like right now on social media, it's really popular to call the RS overrated, because so many people were so obsessed with the 992 when it came out that people were like, oh, they're not that fast in a straight line, and it overshadows how amazing and perfect this car really is. This car is tight. There's no slop. This is all out of the box. The only modification I have on this RS is an exhaust and wheels. And to be frank, you actually don't even need to mod these things at all. They're that good out of the factory, and that's what makes Porsche, Porsche. That's where I feel like you see a lot of older guys end up getting into Porsches, because they've had their Lambos, they've had their McLarens, they've had their Ferraris. And if you are a real purist in motorsport and enthusiast driving, let's say, the answer is always Porsche. Always. So as I said earlier, this is my second GT3RS. The first one I had was a 991.1 UV purple. It was a really clean spec. I really enjoyed it. And then I got this one. This one was actually a gift from Sabrina, and this one's really special. So if you look at the interior of this car, you'll actually notice a lot of yellow stitching. You'll notice a lot of leather in places you normally won't see it. You'll see houndstooth on the factory seats. If you look at the outside, you'll also see a bunch of gloss black accenting, which is all paint and nothing is vinyl. This car has something called a CXX package, also known as a Special Wishes package. This is actually the highest MSRP 991.1 GT3RS to ever be produced. And I have the paper to prove it. I think this came in, don't quote me, somewhere around $268,000, where your normal top spec GT3RS with lift, all that stuff, would come in around 225. The CXX package, to my understanding, is something that is given out to high clients of Porsche. Someone who's been collecting Porsches for a while, maybe has a couple crazy Porsches that a lot of people don't have. And I'll tell you the story about this one. This one was actually spec'd at Porsche Miramar, which is my nearest Porsche dealership to my house, which is really cool. And I'm told that the previous owner of this car, who has never reached out to me, and a lot of times when I buy cars secondhand, usually the previous owner will reach out and be like, oh, that's really cool, and will tell me about it. But I'm told he was a 918 owner and was a Porsche collector. So when he had the option, let's say in 2015, had the option to place his order for his GT3RS 991, he got the Special Wishes. One thing that is pretty cool is that this car did not come with houndstooth Bluetooth bucket seats from factory in .1. That is something I have not seen in any other .1 RS in the world. I'm hoping this video might reach a few different Porsche owners, and maybe if you are one of them and you have this from factory, let me know. You can buy inserts from aftermarket, which has become a very popular thing in the Porsche world. But this one being factory from Porsche in .1 when you couldn't do it ever before is pretty damn cool. I think we can all agree that we all drive cars a lot, but you wanna know something we do a lot more of and spend a third of our life doing? Sleeping, believe it or not. And that's why today's video is sponsored by Helix Sleep. They have proudly been supporting this channel and my back and my sleep schedule for the last few years. See, I was like a lot of people out there. I thought you'd buy one mattress and you'd keep it for a very long time, 10 years plus, no worries, no drama. But when I met Sabrina, she taught me that that was not the correct thing to do, and having an updated mattress with updated technology is the way to go in life. So when I finally decided to upgrade my life and get a new mattress, I went to Helix Sleep and I took their online quiz. It's a quiz that allows you to answer information based on yourself and your partner that you share a bed with, so they can help find you the best mattress that they offer that best suits your needs. So I got paired with the Midnight Lux mattress, which was great, but I recently switched over to the Midnight Lux Elite mattress, which has extra cushioning and is even more comfortable than my previous one. So I know what you guys are thinking, if I order a mattress online, how is it supposed to get to me? Well, they are actually shipped to your front door in a big vacuum sealed bag in a box, and all you have to do is drag it into the desired room in which you want it to be in, cut it open, let it inflate over a couple hours, and you're ready to go. The next reasonable question you might have is, well, how do I know if I'm actually gonna like it based on a test? Well, Helix will actually let you sleep on the mattress for 100 nights to determine if you actually like it or not. And it even comes with a 10-year warranty program and flexible payment options for those who want that. And right now they're having a 4th of July sale where you can get 30% off Lux or Elite mattresses plus 2 free pillows, or you could just enjoy a 25% off entire site-wide sale. All you have to do is head over to helixsleep.com/TJ Hunt to take advantage of that 4th of July sale, or you can go ahead and just click the link down below in the video description to take advantage of that. Thank you so much, Helix Sleep, for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get back to it. Apart from the seats, this has yellow stitching on places you would never see it on another RS. It's got a leather wrapped dash in places that you'll find a normal 991 that doesn't have that. It even has light up door sills that say GT3RS that was not available in .1. I was really on the fence on if I liked all of the gloss black accents around the car. I don't think it's what I would have done had I have spec'd it, but now owning this car for about a year, I've actually really grown to love it. I've grown to love that this is a one-of-one CXX package. And love it or hate it, it's grown on me, and I almost thought about changing it, but I thought it would just devalue the story and history of this car, so I kept it. As I told you guys earlier, I have an exhaust. This exhaust is from Dundon. It has their header system and their Gentleman titanium muffler. This is not their loudest setup. On my previous RS, I had a much louder setup. It was too loud. I'm really happy with the volume of this one. It doesn't drone on the inside here, but when the valves are open, it is very loud on the outside. We also have wheels on this car. They are BBS E89s. Now, I'm not gonna confuse you guys and talk to you about E88s and how you can't fit them on the RS unless you have steel brakes because the carbon ceramics are too big, but then you can run an 18 and not a 19. I'm not gonna bore you with all that, but what I will say that I think is very cool is we are the only GT3RS on the E89 face. And on top of that, we are BBS's first customer with their aluminum barrels. Previous, they were steel barrels, but now we have aluminum barrels which are lighter and they're also a little bit thinner. So we were able to fit them over the carbon ceramics, which has never been done before either, which is really, really cool. Apart from those two things, I don't see myself ever doing any more mods to this car. It's quite perfect, and there's not any other car I think that I own that I can say that about. Maybe other than my R34 GTR. I've contemplated going ahead and getting a coilover setup on this car to maybe get it just a little bit better, but I ask myself, how many times am I driving this car on the street versus how many times am I driving it on the track? The suspension setup is so good, you can even lower it with the factory coilover option, which we've done on this car. And with the active dampening control, it does such an amazing amount of difference when it's on versus off that I don't see myself ever wanting to get rid of that feature. But these cars are so damn good, I can't speak highly enough of them. The only thing I can say is I like it so much in my more mature years. If I was to go back and ask my 21-year-old self if I would ever own 3 Porsches, I would say no, I'm not some old guy. But now I have this car. I have my 991.2 GT3 and our recently new acquired 997 GT3. These cars are just simply the best, and it's one of those experiences that I always get annoyed when someone says it to me, but it's true. You just gotta drive one. If you ever have the opportunity to get behind a GT3 or a GT3RS, heck, even a 911 for that matter, you kind of just get it. You kind of just stop questioning, I want it to look more exotic. I want it to have some big turbo spool. I want the doors to go up. I want to have a Ferrari badge on there. I don't want my Porsche to blend in with every other Porsche. But the moment you get behind the wheel and you step on the gas and you actually start to drive the car, every other superficial thought that you once had floats away. And you just don't care anymore. Because you're finally content with a car that you don't feel like you need to keep on modding it because it's perfect. We're going to some, I don't know where we're going. Twan's having us go to some crazy parking lot apparently. But we're going through like a state park.
It's 17-mile drive. When I came here for Car Week 2021, we did a whole rally and then we ended up parking on this parking lot right on the water and it was super cool. So I saved the pin in my phone from like years ago.
Forgot that you had to pay to get in?
Yeah, I did forget we have to pay to get in. But it's well worth it. This should be sick. Unfortunately,
all the fog rolled in.
Yeah.
We were hoping for like a crystal clear sunset. Monterey always gets overcast. Like this area, the fog rolls in so early and it's very rare when you have a clear night or a clear morning. We didn't get lucky this time, but at least we got those shots at the last spot.
Yeah.
So hopefully we at least find a parking lot to get some cool pictures. Okay.
If you do it in the restaurant, show the receipt to the waitress. They're going to deduct about $12 from your bill.
Okay.
$48 and this is on.
Thank you so much. I don't know where we are.
so it's 17-mile drive. And
I don't even know what that means.
You've been to Car Week?
I went to Car Week back in like probably before 2021, like 2019.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have any money, so I didn't pay to get in anywhere. Like me and Calvin like bummed it everywhere. So I didn't really do that much cool stuff, to be honest.
Yeah.
But this road's cool.
Big moody vibes.
Got all the boys in, so that's all that matters. We're all together. We found it. Wow. It looks like a scary movie.
It does. Look at that rock with all the what is that, seals? What's on that rock? It's a bunch of seals.
Birds?
No, those are seals.
I don't have my glasses on.
Go this way?
Oh my god, we have a parking lot to ourselves.
Yep.
Oh wow. Now, driving this car on the street is one thing, but I know a place where this car will really come alive. But where this car really shines the most, everyone, is on the racetrack. And it just so happens that we are right next to a racetrack known as Laguna Seca, one of my absolute favorites. This thing is glued, and you really don't have an opportunity to feel it unless you really have the opportunity to stretch its legs. So I thought you guys should enjoy a lap with me it's all about. Watch me just eat this guy alive here. This car just has so much grip, so much balance and refinement. Take this a little bit wide. We're gonna try to go early left here to take the inside apex, right it outside, go about to the numbers, slight brake check, set the weight, dive in, oh, little over rotation, and full throttle, ride the outside, slight brake, downshift, aim for the yellow, aim outside, flat footed, aim inside, brake at the 3, really late trusting brake. There, ladies and gentlemen, is a lap around Laguna in the best car ever made. And that's why. Simply that.